T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to sucker!
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of signs, smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Just running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
And what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It must be football season because we got a literal full house. I'm your host, Danny Tanner. We have Quinn. Let's see if we can get through this. Quinn. We have Scotty. We have Mikey. We have Cindy Brady in the middle. Coach Seidel. We got Paul Munson. We got Jeff. And we got EB. And we have Mr. Anthony Romo. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good.
We're all real good. What's going on?
I've had better days.
Yeah, you probably have. We'll get to that in just a moment. But it is National Mail Order Catalog Day here on this.
Jeff, remember, we talked about this last year.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember it either, buddy.
I don't know what
he's
he's talking about.
Bring us up to speed.
Yeah, Paul, bring us up to speed. What was that?
Well, you were talking about catalogs, and then like Jeff brought up, he was like ordering East Bay.
Oh yeah. Who cares?
Good start, Jeff.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
All right, so the question is, what is your least favorite? Last year we did what is your favorite? What is your least favorite mail order catalog day? And the one that essentially you get and you immediately either throw away or you see it in the mailbox and you go, all right, how do I get off this subscriber list? Let's go with Romo, and I'm going to try to give you full screen because you're hiding behind the logos there.
I was hoping to be last because like I have no clue. Like even talking about.
Do you get any catalogs at your house?
No, I don't look at any of them. Nothing.
On to. We're off to a rousing start.
Well,
to
I was
this
hoping
one.
I was going to be last because I was just going to make something up.
We'll come back to it.
We'll come. All right, you can be last. We'll come back to you. EB, how about you?
I don't get catalogs anymore. I think it's been replaced with I have one email I give to all these places, so they send me all their stupid junk and their promos and their points and all that. And I don't know which one's the most annoying because they're all annoying. Probably Dixon Duncan is pretty overbearing with the amount of emails they send you every day. But I mean, the only thing I can ever think of is East Bay and like the Sears and JCPenney's catalog, which when I was younger, it was just for Christmas. Outside of that, can we consider a phone book a catalog? Because I kind of throw that away.
Yeah, I think that classifies as a catalog. Catalog of numbers, catalog of businesses, obviously. Yeah, I'm with you. Jeffrey, how about you?
Any like Giant Eagle ad or Save a Lot catalog, because my dad saves those things.
You don't like Save a Lot?
I'm not saying I don't like Save a Lot, but seriously,
Why don't you like
Dad,
Save a Lot?
There's one. We had one like 2 months ago. My dad's like, "Oh, I didn't know they had chicken on sale." Well, that was from 2 months ago, Dad. Throw it away. Like you didn't care about it then. Why do you care about it now?
Chicken's not ain't good anymore.
No, oh no, probably not. But I hate it because that's all he does. He's like, "Oh, look what we got." I'm like, "Oh, great. I got to hear it for this for 45 minutes." Thank you.
Oh,
Bed Bath & Beyond is the one that I can't stand.
nailed it.
We get that one all the time. I couldn't tell you the last time I went in that store. Have no clue why we still get it, but we get it, and it immediately goes from the mailbox, and I walk across the driveway, and it goes in the dumpster. And that's it.
That a boy. That's a good one. Matt?
I don't get very many anymore, honestly. I mean, like the ones that I do get are the ones that I like enjoy getting, like my Cigar of the Month Club and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go throwback a little bit for you guys. Remember those like pay a penny, get 22 CDs free ads?
Oh yeah.
I got sucked in on that once, and honestly, it took me until I was about 21 to get it all cleared up and like not owe them money anymore, and not be like trying to find Chumbawamba's Tub Thumper album and send it back to them.
The younger generation never did that because they don't. First off, they don't have CDs anymore. But that was the ultimate sucker fish right there. Was that pay a penny and get 22 CDs, none of which you actually wanted. They sent you 22 CDs of things that you had no caring about.
You got like one that you wanted. You got to pick one, and it was like,
oh, is that what it was? You got to pick one?
Yeah.
And then, like, they sent random other ones that were like garbage. I got Aqua. I got Aqua. Barbie Girl. Yep. Got that CD. Woo!
Dude,
Don't lie, Paul. That's probably a ringtone.
Don't crash party.
If it's not your ringtone, it should be your ringtone because
That's true.
Nothing says badass like Barbie Girl when a bald middle-aged man is walking up the stairs.
Even more badass, he knows who sang Barbie Girl. Now, I understand you're a DJ, Paul, but that's deep. Does that ever get requested?
I've had it a couple times, like years ago. Like, believe it or not, like little kids will come up when they want to hear it.
That was not an appropriate song for little kids, as I remember.
That song's a banger.
I remember the video specifically, and that was not appropriate. I was not allowed to watch. Michael's still not allowed to watch. Mike, what's your go-to for the one you hate the most as far as mail order catalogs?
I'll just say all of them because I'm going to be honest. I do not pay attention to what comes in through the mail. My parents get whatever's in the mailbox, and I forget that mail even still is delivered to our house unless I order something off of Amazon.
I feel like you are just like Quinn Pushkar reimagined. Does anybody else get that vibe?
A younger, less bearded. Yeah.
Although I did see on your mom's Facebook page a picture of you last night, McNuggies, at a minor league baseball game when you were just a puppy.
Yeah, I had to have been like 7 years old when that happened. She showed me that picture last night too.
Didn't even look like you. I don't think, but I thought it was your brother, to be honest with you. I was like, that's 100%.
I get that all the time that me and my brother look alike. Neither of us see it. We don't see it.
I don't know. I just, it didn't look like you, so I was like, well, that has to be his brother. And then upon further inspection, I was wrong. It was you. Scotteth, tell me about your least favorite mail order catalog, and this could be fun.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I mean, I go from based off of what used to arrive in my parents' house. Like, my favorite thing I would get was always Sports Illustrated, but like the least favorite would it'd have to be like Better Homes and Gardens. Like, my mom would get it, and I'd like look through it, and I'm like, we can get like all this stuff is trash. Like, why are you getting this? This is horrible.
I like that they keep it in that wrapping paper, like the plastic, so it doesn't get wet. Not worth the paper. Sarah gets that. I'm not crazy about it. Mr. Quinn, your thoughts on this? I'm sure you've got some mail order catalogs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with all of them, kind of like Mackenzie, but the only
Shocker,
difference
your
is
little
that
brother.
because my father decides to put all of them on the kitchen island and never gets rid of any of them. So about once a month, I'll just go through there, and I'm sure he's watching this right now and figuring it all out for the first time. But I'll take the trash can and just throw every one of them away. So
There you go.
yeah,
We get this, and I don't know if it's a magazine or what it is, but it's like evangelical stuff, like stuff I would never read from that standpoint. I think Sarah's read it one time in our entire existence of marriage, and we get it every month, and it's like there's like demons on it and stuff like that. It's weird. I don't know who subscribed to it, no clue. A happy Christian, but it's one of those things like you get it and you're like, ugh, like throw up the cross. I mean, that and like the Arbor Foundation catalogs that my wife gets because she ordered from them twice for these little trees, and I'm like, why? They're killing trees to make this catalog. Like I don't understand. I just don't get it. So interestingly enough, so happy National Mail Order Catalog Day, which leads us to our Baird Brothers. Did somebody have a Baird Brothers Would You Rather? Did I see that earlier, or was that just in jest? I didn't.
No, I said something. I said something. I don't know if it's even worth it, but would you rather get hit by a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, or would you rather get hit by a line drive coming back at you?
Like a thrown 100-mile-an-hour fastball?
Mm-hmm.
Or one hit back at you?
Like Chapman's headhunting and nails you, or you get a line drive.
Or you're that pitcher for freaking Oakland and got hit in the face.
I think that's what made
me think of it, because he got crushed. But
I think for me, I'll start if you guys don't mind. I'd rather him throw it. I mean, it's still 100, but at least you got a chance to see it out of his. I mean, the angle of the arm coming off a bat. I know this from slow pitch softball. You have zero reaction time because that thing could go a million different ways, and it's weird because it happens. Everybody will tell you it happens in slow motion when it comes off the bat, but it happens in an instant. But when you're there, it's you're in the Matrix almost. It's weird to even explain. So I would rather somebody throw at me 100 miles an hour, and then I just go. Well, I wouldn't. Hopefully, I have a lot bigger teammates to go beat his ass. Quinn, how about you?
I mean, I'm not playing baseball, so it doesn't matter. But if I had to pick, I'd take the fastball thrown at me. I'm not either way. I'm not getting out of the way. It's I'm not quick enough. It's not going to matter.
You're too lazy.
And I probably won't see it, to be honest with you, either.
You're too lazy to get out of the way.
Just taking it. I'll take either one. Just get it over with.
Would you pick one?
Fastball thrown at me.
Okay. That's all you needed to say. We didn't need to know that you don't play baseball. We didn't need to know any other stuff that you can't get out of the way. The whole point was one or the other. Would you rather?
Reason. That's all.
Dick.
Thanks,
Scotty.
I'd go with getting thrown at, just so I could roll up on. I could charge them in my chair.
What's the max speed on that, Scotty?
It's about 7.2 miles per hour.
You mess somebody up at 7.2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I gotta charge them, man. Can't take any shit.
We're going to take the restrictor plates off that bad boy. What do you think, McNuggies?
Yeah, have him throw it at me. I mean, you have a chance. Even if they're both at the head, you have a chance if you're batting to like turn your head back, and if there's a helmet, that might protect you from some of the pain. Or if he doesn't throw it at your head, if that's not the guarantee, if you're standing in the box, I mean, you can take it in the lower body, turn around, and then you still might have some consciousness to charge him out and beat his ass. Meanwhile, if it's hit right back at you, you're going to be laying on the pitcher's mound, taking off in a cart, and you got no chance to, and no really merit to beat the batter's ass. So,
did anybody watch that last night? Did anybody see it?
I saw the replay.
Like the sound that you can't tell the sound from if it hits the bat and if it hits his skull.
Yeah,
that was the like just like you know it just what he broke his cheek. Is that what it was?
I think it was his orbital
bone.
This one, right?
Yeah.
That's your orbital
bone's right here.
Yeah.
That's the one where AJ Burnett was bunting, and I shouldn't laugh, but he was bunting and it went off and hit him in the eye and broke his orbital bone. Orbital socket. Go Pirates. Matt, which one?
Yeah, I hate to go with the crowd here, but I'm definitely going to take the fastball being thrown at me. I'm the kind of guy that's always looking for a reason to charge the mound, so give me any reason.
Paul?
100%. I will take a fastball coming at me from a pitcher. I as well, from the slow pitch days from pitching, had guys hit up the middle, and I mean, you don't. I mean, you're 46 feet away, you know, and so it's like that. And then when you get assholes that say, oh, we're going to hit up the middle because you're the closest guy,
middle's
and
open,
you can't defend yourself as fast, so we're going to come up the middle at you. It happened a handful of times, and then we were playing in the league, and a kid hit me, and I turned around and I went into our dugout and I said, if nobody else tries to hit this kid, I will do my best to beat everybody's ass after this game. And one of our current athletic directors in our network walked up, hit this kid. It sounded like a tree branch snapped. He hit this kid. It hit him in the leg. The kid just immediately hit the deck. He turned around, walked in the dugout, and goes, "Muntz, we're good." And I went, "Yep." And that team never hit back up the middle again. And I was like, why does it take somebody hitting up the middle at you to not do that to the opposing team? Because we were all in our late 20s, early 30s. We had jobs, and you know, some guys had families. Like, it's slow pitch softball. You're trying to hurt somebody because you're like, oh, you're the closest guy, we're going to hit at you. Bullshit. Whatever.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
I'd give you crew cut.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, I'm anxious for this one.
For the sake of everybody picking the same one, I'll do the line drive. Why not? Like, give me 100 mile an hour line drive off the bat. Let's just do this thing, all right? Aaron Judge, you just line run right back at me, big cat. Pow! Right in the face.
You got some more
I'm good with it. I'm gonna wake up. I'm not.
He's got no brain cells to lose.
Jeff got some more girth to absorb that hit.
That's it. We're done. Like, we're good.
Did anybody get the, like, when we played, what was the Mike Tyson Punch Out back in the day? Does anybody, like, Jeff gets hit, comes back up?
Like, that, if that happens, you know, give me the line drive. Why not? Take 105 miles an hour right off the chest. Pow!
Jeez.
I come home, my girlfriend / wife or whatever it is, she looks at me, she's like, what happened today? She's like, well, I got a line drive off the chest, babe.
And then you wake up.
Usually when I wake up, it's usually ends there.
Jeffrey, what happened today? Took a line drive off the face. I'm so sad. Oh no.
Fastball's not bad, but
Oh my god.
His girlfriend and his wife, they're talking to him.
Just in his bedroom having these conversations.
Oh
my
my
god.
today.
Took one off the chest today, honey. What did you do today?
I take one off the chin all the time.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. EB.
Not only to add fuel to the fire, but I feel like Betos would take one off the head, pop up, and to just start spelling, Growler, Grwler, Growler.
He turns into a genius.
I mean, I'd probably have to go with the fastball, just because you can see it coming a little bit more. And either way, they both suck. And kudos to anyone who takes a fastball or a line drive, and these dudes like pop up like it's nothing afterwards. Minus, if you take it to the face. That's what she said. But it's they're. I mean, these guys are unreal with how they take some of these hit by pitches and whatnot, and it doesn't even faze them.
The adrenaline keeps you going for a minute, right? And then it just wears off, and it's like, holy crap, did that hurt? Roma, what are you thinking?
You're
You muted.
Oh,
My bad. I'll have to take the fastball. There was noise going on like 5 minutes ago, and I didn't want it to be. I'll have to take the fastball. I mean, I got hit by pitches a lot, I know, in Little League. I mean, just a quick turn. If you can take it off the back, it stings, but that's better than taking one off the face and being out for the rest of the year.
Or the diggy. That's what they teach you to turn, because they don't. Everything important's in the front usually.
Mm-hmm.
oh man.
My buddy squared up the bunt one time.
Right in the
Ball 3. Not good.
guts.
All right, that is Would You Rather, brought to you by our friends over at Baird Brothers. Visit them on the web at bairdbrothers.com. Thank you for their sponsorship. First ever corporate sponsor right here on YSN. Guys, a ton to talk about, and I mean, this should be the lead of the show, and we don't have to turn very far to talk about it. The COVID has struck again, and it's a game that's going to happen on Friday, or was supposed to happen on Friday. Leetonia and Sebring canceled due to COVID restrictions. Relations, I know there's a lot of people that when we put it out there, it's not the right word, relations. It's related to COVID, so that is the right word. Matt, I mean, you found out via social media, so it was a little weird for you. Like, we knew before you did. Talk to me about what went through your mind, when you found out. Look at Roma laughing down there. What went through your mind whenever you found out, and how frustrating is it for you as a coach to have to deal with this as, a second season now?
Yeah, the first thing before you put me full screen, I'm sure, is thanks, Remo, for letting me know that my game was canceled. Found out from him. But in all seriousness, obviously we're disappointed. I've got a group of kids in the locker room that were really amped up, ready to play a game. We thought we were going to have a real big crowd for it, with Salem playing on Thursday night and playing the game at Salem Stadium. We were excited to get back and have fans again, because it's been, a whole year now since we've had fans, almost 2. The thing that impressed me the most, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised by this anymore, but was the way that my kids handled it and reacted to it. And the first thing they wanted to know was, is everybody at Leetonia okay? It just blows me away that, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids think that way right away and want to put somebody else's health and safety first. It's unfortunate, but I think that the harsh reality is this won't be the only time this happens this year.
I was just going to ask you, do you feel like it's the only – I mean, I've heard rumors already of another game that might be in question. Are we going to be in oh my gosh, did anyone see this? Valley Football says, huge story, Sebring versus Leetonia. Ron Potesta now has content. I don't know who that is. Well played. I'm hearing rumors already, guys. Could this be another COVID season? I mean, we saw, if Billy Mack was here, he would, the day that, was it Monday, our golf outing, we saw everything start to change, where all the states became red, and now mask restrictions and things of that nature. When you look at this, is there such a thing as being sick anymore, or is everything going to be COVID related? Paul, you've been going through this as much as anybody. Talk to me about what you're hearing and the frustrations that you have with all of a sudden this is turning into COVID season 2.0.
And I mean, it's funny because I was at school most of the day, and our nurse came in and was talking about it, and we brought up. I was actually in the athletic director's office when those texts were coming through that their game was that Letonia and Sebring were done, and I said, I was like, well, there's a game right there that's already off the table, and they're just like, you got to be kidding me, and everybody's talking about the Mahoning County superintendents were in a meeting today with the Mahoning County Health Department, and what they're going to come back with. Are they going to have to come back with masks? Some schools are already saying it's masks only, and to start the school year off. And the nurse was like, she goes, this is ridiculous. And she's a nurse, and she's like, I've worked at the hospitals my whole life, and she's like, people just can't get sick anymore. And she's like, it's ridiculous. She goes, these kids' immune systems need to have some of this stuff, and you need to kind of get the common cold. You need to get this stuff so that you can develop that immunity to it. And she goes, to keep protecting these people the way things are going, she goes, it isn't going to be good. And I unfortunately, I think this is going to be the start. You're going to start seeing some more of these games maybe get canceled or get moved, or teams playing with less players. And I think it sucks because you're going to look at last year in the playoffs. Look what happened to Ursuline. Ursuline was in the playoffs, had a chance to make a run probably, and before their big game, they're done. And so, I don't know. It sucks. I don't want to see it. I really don't. I don't want to see the kids have to wear masks. If they choose to, that's their choice. If mom and dad say this is what I want you to do, then that's what you have to do because mom and dad want you to. But for this to go on again for another year, I mean, what happened to just people having a cold? Having
just being sick.
Yeah. I mean, the nurse actually said she thinks this has been around a lot longer than they're trying to admit. And she's talking like years. She goes, because how many times did you go to the doctor and say, oh, you got some virus?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get it, and I don't want to pick sides or anything like that, but like if you had it and I had it and a lot of people had it, I still have trouble smelling, right? I'm still having issues with getting my sense of smell back. I've never experienced this any time in my life, so it's interesting with that. I know a lot of people are still having trouble getting their taste back and things of that nature. This virus is different than all the rest, I think. But I still think, how many people do you know that said, well, I think I had it back in da-da-da-da-da. Like, I feel like everybody knows a person that had it, well, I had it back in that, but we weren't testing at that point. Well, no. I mean, you might have, but everybody says they might have had it. Coach, there's a question for you from Amo. It says, Coach, are they talking about playing on Sunday or no?
So I'm not privy to any conversation about possibly playing on Sunday or Saturday or anything like that.
You're privy to a lot there, Coach.
We'll catch you up in the group chat.
Yeah, hey, Romo, that's probably a better question for you.
Well, see, here's the thing. I was just looking on Twitter and I saw the YSN Live account tweeted it. So I just figured you knew about it at that point. So I was like, wow, I wanted to start conversation. I thought you were joking when you said
I did too.
Which game or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I
then
put haha.
And I should say, I was aware that there was potential for this to happen as early as Monday. We started to hear some rumors and rumblings, and Letonia reached out to us and let us know that they may potentially have a positive case and may potentially need to do some quarantining. I did know that they were waiting to hear from the Columbiana County Board of Health today. I just was unaware that it had become official at that point.
So now it turns to, do you make this game up? There are reports saying that this is canceled and will not be made up. I read that already. If that's the case, one way or the other, Coach, you will be awarded with a victory, I would assume.
That's not what we're hearing. We're hearing that according to the OHSAA, that this will go down as a no contest. It's as if the game was never even scheduled. And that's why, and if you see me looking down right now, I apologize, but I'm burning up the phone lines right now, trying to find a replacement game on a 2-day notice. I'm in talks with a school down in the Dayton area. We may be getting on a bus and making a 4-hour trip on Friday night, but we'll see what happens here.
Hey Mo, get ready. Get ready. If I've got to go to Toledo on Saturday, Amo's trekking his ass to Dayton on Friday night. That's on YSN, of course. Jeffrey, how do you feel about this COVID situation? You actually work in a school. I know we always bust your chops about it, but what have you been experiencing through? And you don't have to say what school you work at. What have you been experiencing through preparation for the school year? I feel like now that we're here, everybody's ramping up all of a sudden because they forgot August was the first day of school.
Amo's in.
Thanks, Paul. It's crazy because teachers are coming back. We had about 35 teachers in today at the school that I worked at, and just mainly the whole barrier situation that we have there. We have a ton of barriers that teachers the school that I worked at hasn't really made a decision yet. I bet you we would get a decision made pretty soon because we start school August 30th. It's wild because the timing of it is funny to me a little bit because we're going back to school and summer's kind of being over and everything going on. It's weird. I don't know what will happen in where I work. Hopefully we don't use barriers, and I know that our principal talking today was just like it doesn't look good for us with the whole mask thing, so they're probably going to mandate it where I work probably.
So when you say it doesn't look good, you're going to say that they're leaning towards masks?
They probably will lean towards masks and probably use barriers again.
So I guess the better question is, why do we have to change anything that we did from last year? Shouldn't we already be? And this is just me saying, aren't we already prepared for this? Like our next conversation is going to be online tickets because that's what we're leaning towards with the majority of these schools. Shouldn't we already be prepared for all of this stuff that's already happened because we used last year as a lesson or an experience for what could be in the future? Quinn, do you have thoughts on this?
I'm kind of in a situation where I have no idea what to think, I'm trying to figure it out because, it's going to affect long term. They're not just going to do it for just football season.
Right.
So, it's going to affect basketball. It's going to affect going into spring, what happens with all that stuff. There's a lot of variables that I'm just kind of trying to figure out before I fully understand what's going on.
Last takes on this. Anybody that we didn't get to want to talk about this real quick?
I just find it interesting. One, if you're looking for a narrative, it definitely fits a narrative because May 31st, it was poof. Everything was gone.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, school's starting back up. Now it's all of a sudden back. Part of me wants to say conspiracy is they have so much PPE, they're trying to find a reason to get rid of it. But that's a whole different thing. But naturally, if you look at the flu or any other virus or anything like that, we deal with it yearly and it's a different strain. So like, if that's the case, and if this takes over the flu because there's zero flu cases anymore, that just magically, the flu saw Corona and said, "No, bro, I'm out." But like, it's gonna continue to cycle every year. So you eventually gotta put aside your fear of everything that they're feeding you and just live. And I've even talked to some small business owners and other owners that they're nervous about this, and it's not just sports, but they said, you know what, if this shit goes down again, we're not abiding by the rules of the state or whoever because we can't afford it. And if the state wants to sue us, we'll take it to court. And I feel we have a good case. I feel you got to do the same thing with sports, where somewhere down the line, someone's going to have to stand up, whether it's to the OHSAA, to their administration, or whatnot, and say, you're doing more harm than good. This isn't going to go away anytime soon. It wasn't going to be a 1 year and then, May 31st, 2021, Corona's dead. We didn't defeat the beast. So you got to learn how to live with it. And even when the flu was out in the early 1900s, it took them 20 years before they had a vaccination. Now we have a vaccination, and we've had one for the flu for how long? And how prevalent or successful was that against the flu? It wasn't always successful because there was various other strains. So, what are you going to do? Like, we got to put aside the fear and literally, look, just live a little bit. and everything will take care of itself.
To EB's point on the PPE stuff, we've got a hallway at our school that's basically become a storage closet, and it's about 30 yards long, and the shelf on it is completely stacked with rapid COVID tests.
Which are irrelevant now, and they said they're irrelevant because there's no way to differentiate, if it's Delta, if it's Omaha, if it's Southwest, if it's, Spirit, whatever the hell they're going to name it, like Corona, Bud Light, freaking Heineken, so...
You didn't say Guinness, so I'm good.
Well, we're not sure if it's going to be seltzers or if it's going to be vodka. Dude, there's no way to differentiate it now. So these things are kind of becoming irrelevant, other than to just say, all right, well, it looks like you are carrying the strain. So I don't know. I'm no medical professional, but it doesn't seem like they hold much weight to what they're doing anymore.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about online ticket sales. Is this the answer for schools, or is this going to cause conflict for certain generations? We'll also talk about Brett Favre in the news yesterday. If you watched the Channel 21 WFMJ roundtable last night, I got ambushed by a question about Brett Favre saying no tackle football till 14. I want to hear what these guys have to say. Also, we got our Yankee update with Jeff Bezos and next year's Field of Dreams game that's been announced. 2 teams. Are you excited for it, or is it just kind of meh? One's enough. We're good with it. All that and our, oh baby, I'm excited for this one. Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark, or what sparks you, I should say? Coming up, our new end of the show classic that everybody loves. We'll be back right after this on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by these great sponsors.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
We are there in your community. Small business owners, mechanics, police officers, homemakers. And we are there serving our nation in the Air Force Reserve. When medical emergencies arise, in cybersecurity, when natural disasters happen, we are there in space. We are Reserve Citizen Airmen, and we are there with over 180 different jobs to serve your country. Air Force Reserve.
Come see one of the Valley's hidden gems. The Back Nine Bar and Grill on the Berlin Lake Golf Club is the perfect place for fellowship, fame, food, and fun. Check out our daily specials and ask about memberships. The Back Nine Bar and Grill on Hartzell Road in North Benton. And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley and a band of boys with me. Don't forget, last call for this guy, the Berlin Lake Golf Club annual golf cart raffle, September 5th is when it's going to be pulled. You can buy a ticket just like I did, $50. Listen, your ticket gets pulled, it goes right back in. So you could clean house that day. So if you're looking to... if you like raffles, if you like being able to donate to nice things and contribute to nice things, make sure that you get your card today. Your Berlin Lake Golf Club annual golf cart raffle. Again, $50. It's going to be pulled September 5th at their annual corn roast. Get in touch with AMO or message YSN and we'll get you in touch with them one way or the other. Back to the Power Hour, gentlemen. Online tickets, it's all the craze right now. Athletic directors are being told this is the way to go. It's hands-free. This is get everything out in the open. There's no exchange of the old school tickets. No tickets sold at the gate. Is this the right answer? I'm a believer in technology. I will have no problem with this, but I think there's going to be stumbling blocks along the way with generation, just knowing what I know from people trying to watch what we do. Do you feel like this is going to be trouble in paradise for athletic directors, or do you think it's going to be flawless and it's the way of the future? Let's start with Anthony Roma. I'll say A-Row.
It's fine. I don't think that I mean, it has its advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, some of the advantages would be you get to pay online, then there's no waiting in lines. You kind of just walk right in, then there's someone that scans your ticket and you go through. But as you had said, some of the older generations that struggle with the technology that we have today, I mean, some people don't even have phones. They just wait for Friday night to go to the games, and I just think about how upsetting that would be for someone to walk to the gate and then someone asks for their phone for their ticket so they can scan it, and they have no clue. They have no clue that they have to pay online. They've just been going to games for years and paying the traditional way. So it's going to have the first couple seasons, the first like baseball and basketball, people will be more accustomed to it if that's the way that we go 100%. Football season will definitely have some rough patches, though, I feel like, with online ticketing.
Let's skip up to Scotty.
Got me, you son of a bitch. I think it's gonna be. I think this will be a bit of a mixed bag. I think it was. I forget who I was talking to recently, but this was brought up, and I think like the people that are like about 50 or older, I think they might struggle with this a little bit, but I myself, just speaking from experience and, being a millennial, like I remember like being young and little and always like going to the mall, doing shopping there and hanging out at the mall and buying stuff or buying video games at Walmart or Best Buy or whatever. And it's like now, once in a blue moon, I'll go to the mall, but I do most of the shopping online, and I think it's more convenient that way, to be honest with you. And I don't really see, I think in the foreseeable future, we could see malls as being like a thing of the past. So this advanced ticket thing, I think it is kind of like a wave of the future. I think this is the route to go. I think there will be some bumps in the road, like with anything else, but I think after maybe a couple years, everybody will become more and more acclimated to it.
McNuggets, how do you like this? I mean, it's easy for you. I feel like you've never known anything different than some of these techie things and solutions like online ticket sales.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And for the past few years, when me and my dad have gone to sports games, that's what we go to, mobile tickets, to get into games. So from a professional standpoint, this has been in for a while, and the majority of people that go to professional games nowadays use it because they are encouraged to. So I feel like that a few more people are going to be accustomed to this from the older generation, at least, than some people anticipate. But I don't think it's truly going to be flawless, because nothing you ever have is flawless, truly. And I mean, you've known that from firsthand experience, especially the past year, DJ. But this first year would probably.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? I'm kidding.
I'm not blaming you, but I'm just
trying to bust your chops, dude.
Yeah, but obviously you're gonna have some bumps in the road, some things to work out. But within about a year or two, I think that mobile tickets will be the only way that people know how to get into games for the foreseeable future.
Paulie, put a bow on this for us quickly. I know that you've got some choice words for if you think this is going to work or not.
I think it's going to be a shit show. I mean,
those were the choice words.
Yeah. I mean, it's starting week 1. It's starting Friday. I mean, one of your biggest games is Springfield South Range. And Springfield is online tickets only. You have to go online. You have to buy your ticket through there. They are saying that there will be no tickets sold at the gate. There's no money exchange, no nothing. So you've got one of your biggest games right out the gate. And like we've talked, some random panels talked about, you've got some of your older generation community members who are going to be coming to that. And if they have no clue, if they don't have an iPhone or, they don't know how to work the computer that well, but Phyllis and Ed want to come to the game and they support whichever team, and they show up and they're like, "We're sorry, you can't come, you can't come in." What are they going to do? I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, listen, I understand sort of why they're doing it, but at the same time, like, ease into it. Tell people, listen, we prefer you buy your tickets online.
Didn't they do this last year?
Some schools did. Some schools, I mean, but then the OHSAA, it was online only.
Yeah.
So you couldn't go into a game during the playoffs unless you got your tickets online.
Well, because they had a paid partnership too.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how they did their thing. But this is, I don't know. This is going to be a nightmare. I mean, listen. I'm going to be at that game, and I'm not having to worry about it. But I'd love to sit at the front gate with the thing of popcorn and sit there. And these poor ticket takers are going to sit there and they're going to get screamed at all night long by people who don't have one of those. And it's not their fault.
No, it's not.
You feel bad because it's not their fault.
They're volunteers a lot of times, aren't they?
What's it? Yeah, a lot of them are. Yeah. I mean, some schools they're volunteers. Some schools they are being paid, but $30 ain't worth getting screamed at by people for an hour and a half.
Couldn't you do what the back off what Romo said? Like, you know how people go right to the gate? Couldn't you just do what they do at concerts or somewhere where you pay the $7 or $10, whatever the Ohio Association's making people pay now, and put a stamp on their hand, be like, all right, you paid to get in the game, so we're not using any tickets. Can we just do it that way?
That is the exact reason why they are going to online tickets, to avoid that type of interaction.
Because Jeff's going to sit there with a marker.
Want the money exchange, Jeff. They don't want people.
We're soft. Jeez. We're soft.
Because they don't want hand-by-hand exchange of money. They don't want all the possible germs transferring.
We didn't beat COVID, Jeff.
No, I thought we did. Spoke too soon.
Spoke too soon. Hey, Quinn, I think this question's for you. Do you guys have a schedule for your games this week? Can you put a graphic out for us?
Sure.
Valley football needs to know.
Good talk. All right, let's turn our attention quickly. Brett Favre, we're going to just pick a couple guys out for this one. Brett Favre said, you shouldn't play tackle football until you're 14 years old. Agree? Disagree? And why the hell is anybody listening to Brett Favre after what he's done in the last 5 years? Let's go, Quinn.
Don't care what Brett Favre says. Go play football. Go hit somebody.
Okay. Scotty.
I think it's up to the I mean, these people, I don't know. We've gotten soft in this damn country. These people that say, it's dangerous and blah blah blah. You know what else is dangerous? Drinking 3 cans of pop a day. So play some damn football. We love it.
McNuggies.
I don't think it was exactly 14 years old, but up until I believe it was 7th grade, my dad, who is a high school football coach at Beaver Local, wouldn't allow us to play tackle football, myself or my brother, up until our 7th grade year of school. So I think that I've already had some of that. I think that 14 is a little late because for most people, that's 1 year before you enter high school. So you get 8th grade year of tackle football, and then
he said
then you
7th, 8th grade middle school.
Well, 7th, 8th grade middle school, and then I'd actually kind of agree with that because, I mean, at a younger age, I think that exposing kids to some of that is maybe a little early. I do agree with Scotty that some things have gotten soft in football, and I like Coach Shadell's hat, by the way, make football violent again. But some coaches already have that philosophies in their families. Like, you're not playing tackle football until junior high, so I can kind of see where Brett Favre is coming from.
Okay, Coach, this ought to be good.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to surprise some people here because I think that, 14 may not be the exact right age, but I do think that seeing the little, 2nd and 3rd graders running around playing tackle football is not good for anybody. I would much prefer to see flag football at that age and then eventually ramp up into contact football. I think that it's really important for kids to have the fundamentals before they get to the contact version of football. And it could be really dangerous, for the development of a young child.
What's the solution? Is it you have like you should play 2 years of flag football before you're allowed to play tackle at that age, or what is it?
Go ahead, Paul.
I was going to say, because if and Ann chimes in here at the bottom and says, it allows kids to learn the positions. And I think, 7th grade's about what, 12, 13, somewhere around there?
Yes, yep.
So I think that's a good age for those kids to start learning the proper ways to tackle and to, absorb those hits. Where, like Coach said, you see these little kids running around there, and we've all seen the videos, and you see them, like, one kid could be developmentally better than another kid, and they're both 8 years old, and this kid all of a sudden just comes across the line and just annihilates this poor little kid, and he's got no business being out there. But hey, we want to let's throw a little Joey out there and let him play some football at 8 years old, because hey, that's what boys do. Well, if they're playing flag football, that contact's not there, and you're learning, to pay attention to your surroundings and do those things. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't have boys, so I don't have to worry about that. So, but if the girls want to play football, go for it. But it brings me back to where this originally came from last night when I watched the show, and Dana brought it up, and we talk about here in Ohio. One of the, we'll just call it, they're a powerhouse conference over there on the western part of the state. They don't start playing tackle football until 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got how many state titles and all that over there, and they're doing something right. So, I mean, maybe there's something to it that maybe we should say, listen, let's take a little break on this, play flag football, and then when you get to 7th grade, and that's your middle school football, then, hey, now we're going to start it, and you're going to get taught the proper way to do this stuff.
They also don't have electricity, I'm pretty sure. So,
they got
Jeff,
trophies that just shine up their house. That's
you can only see the trophies when the sun's out.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, do you think that people have these young kids have the football IQ to play at this level, like to really get things going?
Is there adequate coaching?
Is coaching a talent?
Yeah.
Don't confuse them. I just want to know, do you think there's enough
Why are we
football
asking
IQ?
Jeff? You couldn't get him to run through the tunnel.
Well,
This is how we're going to do it all the time.
Through the side, and they all kind of just crash into each other. I mean, look at this. Like, they didn't know which way to go. The coach was telling them to run through the paper. I mean, technically they did, but, like, that's not really how you do it. Like, some of them got it right.
They took the scenic route to get to that bag. That's basically.
I wonder if they won the game after this.
That is the big question. But yeah, they definitely took the scenic route to get through that paper. All right, Charity, you remember last year, Coach Frankie Perez and
Both that guy and that lady need to shut up. All right? Did you see the score Pirates did?
These kids aren't running the right way.
Oh, all right.
The one kid fell down. His helmet was too big. He just.
Listen, and that's my thing, and I hate to be the guy that puts the bow on this one, because there's we could talk about this one for an hour by itself. If you ever watch some of these games, it's like it's just
funny.
It's funny because they look like bobbleheads. They don't tackle right. I mean, the foundational football isn't exactly there most times, right? Because these kids are just learning how to do things with their bodies outside of playing football. Like, most of them are learning how to wipe their own tail. So, like, to expect them to have a form tackle and things of that nature, I think that's a little crazy. Can they get hurt? Absolutely. But they can also get hurt jumping off a swing. Mm-hmm. So I would rather see them, from the socialization standpoint, learning how to be a team, as opposed to, like we're talking about little kids with CTE and brain damage. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think that there's enough of that stuff. And the way I understand it, most kids are paired up by weight. Like, you're not going to see a 155-pound quarterback and a 60-pound lineman. That's not how it matches up. So if the kids want to play football, let them play football, man. It's nothing against Flag. It's nothing against Brett Favre. But he's the last one that should be telling kids what to do in situations.
I know a lot of times, like, the little football stuff there, it's actually done by their grade. So you have your junior, your Bantam, and your varsity.
It's
so
also... It's done by
the big fat guys. They just put an X on their helmet. Yes. They're linemen. That's it.
Hey, you can't say big fat guys. They're little kids.
Dude,
Easy.
Paul, Jesus.
just because your head was 3 times bigger than
Right,
everybody else's.
because you're
entire
fat too,
life.
Paul. You can't see fat, man. It's not nice.
Saw a video once where little football. Oh, everybody knew where I was going with it. Paul knew it immediately.
Well, I started laughing because Amo put that on there, and then Carrie typed in, and I went, "Oh boy, it's coming."
Here we go.
Here it is, lining up.
Yep, and we know that because Jeff was the coach.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
you know. So I mean, it's
Who
just
is that game?
I like the flag football part. I'm getting yelled at because I said big fat guys, but I was thinking more of. I wasn't calling little kids big fat guys. I was
You
just,
were.
I think you said
Don't
you
get
were.
to-
Yeah, you
rewind
were.
the tape. You absolutely did. You just fat shamed
Those
little kids.
fat guys out there. Jeez, Paul, like relax. man.
Those are your future. Hey, listen. Those are your future snack eaters, Paul.
I
So
know.
know your audience.
Exactly. But the thing is like the weight limit. I think is like anything over.
They can't play.
Like 100 pounds. They all of a sudden they say.
Well,
you
see,
know,
like the one year, I know when we played East Canton, they had 2 kids that were 125 pounds at the age of 7. And
they did it, not me.
Yeah.
That was
look. 100 pounds is nothing for a little kid, but they're going to put an X on his helmet, and so then now the little kids that are running the ball look like the bobblehead kids, and here comes the lineman going to try to tackle him, and he's annihilating them.
They usually don't.
Hard pass. Jeff, get to your Yankee update. Nobody cares.
Made up 9.5 games in 22 days. First place in the wild card, 9.5 games in 22 days.
Oh, are we bragging about wild card now?
I'm sorry. Go make the playoffs, bud. That's all that matters. Making the playoffs.
Okay.
So if
I'll
you make the
remember that
playoffs
in
and
a
lose
month
in the
and a half.
divisional, wait. So if you make the playoffs and lose in the divisional series, basically every year for the past 11, that's a success.
It was ALCS, not the divisional series.
Ooh.
Mikey,
Till the
you gotta
Tampa Bay,
really
the
work.
mighty Tampa Bay Rays came
ALCS
around.
last year.
Yes, we did. No, it was ALDS. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not the last 2 years. The year before that, they lost in the championship series. So all that matters is the Yankees made the playoff. Going to make the playoffs. 22 games, 9.5 game lead, 22 days. Boston sucks. Championship sucks.
Season's not over yet. Season's not over yet. They can
Does
still
anybody
get through
root for the Yankees other than him right now? Because I just want a colossal collapse of the Yankees.
Not happening.
that. They're going to. Don't worry about
He's now they'll collapse in the ALDS again, but
This
Make
is
them
where I love
playoffs,
it. All
that's all
right, let's get to next year's Field of Dreams. Can we save that? You guys good for saving that for tomorrow?
Yeah, save that one for tomorrow. There's nothing going on tomorrow.
We got picks tomorrow.
We have 4 picks, Paul.
Wow.
Yeah.
oh,
You expecting him taking some time on Ursula and Bishop Hartley?
It's going to be a tough matchup.
It's a great game, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, and we'll talk about a lot of football tomorrow because we'll be live from on location somewhere tomorrow. We think it's going to be Youngstown State. We're still waiting on verification for that. We'll be doing the YSN Power Hour along with we'll be having a show we call YSN Primetime. Every Thursday night, we will be catering to one school or another, focusing on where the matchup is, but for a lot of the games. We're going to talk about them in advance. We'll have our announcers on, we'll have coaches on, we'll have players on. That's at the home location. So we're excited for that. And the other announcement before we get to our new segment is games in week 1 on YSN, ladies and gentlemen, are absolutely free. Absolutely free. So 25 games, I think, 25 games total. You'll be able to watch absolutely free. There's no signing into pay-per-view. There's none of that. It's you go to our live page. If you want to, the easiest way to do it, if we're being honest, you go to our live page and you click the links, and then you click the play button, and you're good to go. Or really what you could do is just watch on Friday. You could watch the Audible Call with Mike Ackelson and Steve Leslie and just enjoy the show and watch the touchdowns as they occur live on the air like the NFL Red Zone. So I hope that you guys are ready for it. We are ready here at YSN, and that leads us to our newest segment.
26.
Ladies, what?
26
games.
26 games? Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
Maybe 27.
Maybe 20. No, we don't say that.
Jeff,
We
are
don't
you
say that
doing
number. It is time for the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark? And if you're well, it's brand new. So unless you tuned in yesterday, and I hope you did, this is what took the place of our What's Your Beef segment. So we're very thankful to Eric Carlson, the entire team over at Joe Dickey Electric for picking up the slack and giving us something cool to look forward to. So what's your spark, guys? Good spark, bad spark, or otherwise? Romo, lead us off, buddy.
Amazing spark today. My dad made chili. Well, he's making chili. And I already know it's going to be good, so that's what I'm going to go eat after we get off the show today. So amazing spark for my Wednesday. Didn't have to go into work either because of the rain. So, yeah, I'm just really excited for football games this weekend, finally.
Does it fill up? Does the waff fill up the entire house?
Yes. I can smell it down here. I'm in the basement.
That's the best chili. It fills up the entire house. EB, what do you got, brother?
My spark, it's a short one, just a short spark, a little spark plug, is Scotty's Mutton Chops.
Love it. Betos, if you say Yankees, you're out of here.
No, it's people being soft, okay? Listen, lady, at the store, I did not mean to bump into you, and you fell over. All right? It's
what? Wait. No.
Let me finish it out, okay?
You got to set this up.
So I went
knocked an old lady over?
I got my 9 o'clock break, and I went to the store to go get, Gatorade because I needed something to drink. And I walked down the aisle, and there was a lady. I saw her, and I was like, all right, I'm going to move out of the way. And then we did one of those,
the dance?
Which way are you going? So I was like, all right, it's 4th and 1. We got a score here. I'm like, I'm going to go. So I started walking forward, and I bumped into her, and she, fell over. And I thought, she's not old. She was, my age, 29. It was kind of old.
Yeah.
But she, looked, and she was like, oh, my God, he hit me. I was like, I didn't know which way you were going to go, and it's not my fault. All right? Stop being so soft. You know what? I hope you had a great day, but she really kind of made me mad that she walked up and she told the cashier.
Grocery stores.
She told the cashier, I quote, "Oh, this guy hit me behind me. You should have let it back in your store."
Quinn, you did that already?
Were there perhaps people holding up a sign in front of her that you went the wrong way through?
Is there a way to go to... I was walking towards the cereal. She was walking on the other side, and she went over to the cereal. And then I thought, I don't know. I just bumped into her. I didn't say sorry. I looked at her and said, cash out, lady!
Jeff went truck stick in the grocery store.
Jeff's assaulting.
I didn't insult anybody.
You sure as hell
didn't know which way she was going.
She felt, how did a 29-year-old
New at
fall
6
out?
o'clock, a North Lima man assaults a woman in a grocery store.
I did not assault anybody. I bumped her a little bit with my shoulder. I know I'm a big fat guy.
He's in there throwing shoulder bumps at
Hello, everybody. We have breaking news.
Video.
By the way, screw that person too, man.
Slightly obese man with mustache assaults woman.
Shoulder checker into the Cheerios.
Yeah.
She didn't fall in
the Fruitios.
Why they
should have apologized. It should be a lot nicer, but
just went there for the Gatorade.
It was there. It was $1, so I was excited.
I went there and found $1 Gatorade, so I'm gonna shoulder tackle a lady for it.
I didn't shoulder tackle anybody.
Jeff, we need the name of this store because there are surveillance tapes.
We need that security footage.
There are surveillance tapes.
Please tell me where it was.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay, deal. Because I want that security footage because I will erase the Raider video forever, and that's what we'll use 100 times. I just have this picture in my head of Jeff checking her into the Cheerios, dropping everything and running the other way.
I didn't even get the Gatorade yet. I had nothing in my hand.
It's like Bill Murray in Caddyshack where the guy gets struck by lightning. He just puts the stuff down and scoots away.
So you weren't pushing a cart or anything? You just walked by?
No, I came in, walked down the aisle. It's aisle number 5.
And ran into her?
No. We didn't know which way we were going to go, so I decided that I was going to go forward. She came at me. She knew what she was getting into. Brick wall, glass.
She knew what was gonna happen when she started messing with me.
I
come at me, bro.
Up into my shoulder.
Come at me, bro.
Fell down, and I was
How-
like,
How hyped is Jeff?
This lady going,
He's
oh.
running Oklahoma drills in the middle of the aisle to check.
he literally fell over. I looked at her. It was like soft, and I went and got.
Okay. Okay. The fish was this big, and now it's this big. Oh my
I didn't
gosh,
call it
Jeff.
soft. I didn't call
Entertainment value for JB. All right, Paul, what do you have?
Goodness. Mine's
good luck.
A negative spark. Just all this crap now coming up again, right in time for football and school starting, where all of a sudden now it's all back. It's all filtering itself back up to the top when all summer long we pushed it down and everything was great. We got to go to amusement parks and the beach and everywhere else. But now all of a sudden when people are going to start, we're going back to school or football is right here and we're going to get in groups again. It's like all of a sudden the governor's like, well, I think we should wear masks. And all of our counties are red again. And it's like, come on, like shut the media off, turn the news off, turn it all off for a week, and let's just see what happens.
Nice. Let's get to Kerry's comment real quick.
That's
I know it's
not
about
nice,
Bentos.
Kerry. That
You
is
wonder
not
why he's
nice.
single. He has the opportunity to approach a nice girl in a store and instead he applies tackling fuel and knocks her over. Well, at least she didn't clip him, I guess. Matt, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm going with a positive spark on this day of negative sparks for me. And my positive spark is that we've got our very own breaking news reporter down there in Romo.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was. I felt bad. I felt bad because I was like, I'm definitely not the person who's supposed to be breaking this news to him. I thought I was just trying to spark a conversation in our group chat, and then I thought he was just joking, and then I saw DJ said like haha on it, so I was like, oh yeah, he's joking, and then you were like, wait, really, who is it? And I was sitting there with my mouth open. I was like, there's no way.
The best part for me was then Richie being like, I think he's talking about you, bro.
Because I texted Richie, then I go, was he being serious? Because like I didn't know.
The best part for me about that whole situation was the one guy who breaks news didn't break any news today that I saw. That was interesting to me. Michael McKenzie, what is your spark?
I'm going to go with a positive spark. Had the chance to go down to the school, sit down with Mike McKenzie. I think I got a connection to him, Beaver local football head coach, and Wyatt Loy for the coaches and players interviews. I'm going to send him to Anthony. Hopefully they're out tonight, but football season is in full swing. And unfortunately, one of the things that I remember from my interview with Coach McKenzie was asking him about how beneficial it is to have the COVID-free summer. He said it's nice. I mean, last season he didn't know if he was going to have a game heading into week one. It's nice to know that he has a game. And obviously Coach Seidel, unfortunately, was not in the same situation. But yeah, we're back to that. But football season's here.
You had the COVID dojo. Like, you guys have like a tiki lounge or something with, I saw you can watch a Pirates games out there.
Yeah. It's like a little pavilion thing outside by the pool we have.
Real nice. The tiki.
I wish we had I wish we rooted for a good baseball team to watch out there in the summer, but
2026, man. World champions.
2026. When I come back from college.
Scotty, what do you got?
Yeah, I got two positive real quick sparks. One is I stumped Ty today for the first time on running point, being a part of it with Anthony. So stumping Ty was a good one, even though I'm still in the hole, still down 8-1, but it's a start. The other one is just the return of football, COVID coming back or not. Very much looking forward to, even though I'm not going to physically be here, checking out the games and checking out Audible Call with Mike and the gang and everybody, and then going to the Browns game on Sunday. So it's first time since 2019 I'll be a first energy, and love high school football. I stumped Ty, so I'm in a good mood.
Love it. Quincy?
Yeah, it's positive. I mean, it's Steve. I got to do some coach corners with Steve last night, help run him because his technology skills are next to zero. But you know, I got to do that with Steve. I got to listen in on Seth Antrim's interview last night, and it was incredible. I'm excited for Seth, and tonight we get Canfield. We get to go hang out and talk to Coach Pav, and you know, I'm excited. Football's back, like everybody said, and I can't wait.
Football is back. The coaches' corners are back. Player profiles are back. I get to go hang out with my buddy, one of my favorite guys in the world, on and off the field, Coach Yeagley tonight. So I'm really, really looking forward to that, and Coach Foster as well, I believe. So we'll have that for you here on YSN. My spark is it's a positive spark that came from a negative spark, I guess, and it's one guy on a list of people that I would never mess with, and his name is Mark Roth. That's the list. That's it. Mark Roth. You are my spark, my friend, and you will always be my spark because you are constantly on our side. And I mean, one of the biggest believers in what we do, and he's living it right now with Joe and everything. Joe's gonna have a big week, man. I'm excited for that family, and couldn't be more grateful for the Roths and everybody out at Austintown Fitch High School. So that is the Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Brought to you by our friends over at Joe Dickey Electric in North Lima. Visit them today at DickeyElectric.com. Anything commercial, anything residential, anything electrical, visit our friends at Joe Dickey Electric. We're about 12 minutes over, so we do apologize for that, but that's going to allow us the freedom to bounce on out of here. No, we don't apologize for anything. Anything. Scotty, wake up!
I'm out.
That's going to do it. Final thoughts, gentlemen, or are we bouncing?
Brady Bunch out. Let's go. Cespedes. Grilling up.
Let's go. See you, boys.